Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. It's your girl Little Latina coming at you with another video. And today's video is going to be another tea talk. It's been a while since I did my first one. So I got my green tea. I basically drank it all already. But regardless, it can't be a tea talk without the tea. So, in today's episode of Tea Talk, whatever you would like to call it, guys, please be quiet! I'm going to be talking about how to quit caring about what other people think of you, and I know from personal experience that I used to really struggle with this, especially in my freshman year of high school, and I feel like the reason I cared even more than I did before was because my freshman year of high school was when I transitioned schools and moved to a completely different state, so I knew nobody, so I cared very much about what people thought of me because I wanted to make friends and feel comfortable in the area that I was in, and I felt like I had to change myself to fit in so people would like me, and that's when I really spiraled into kind of like a mess, honestly a mental mess, where I cared way too much than I needed to about what other people thought of me and how other people viewed me, and I allowed their judgments I let their judgments and assumptions about me affect me personally and allowed what they thought about me to dictate who I was as a person, and ultimately that was not the wisest decision, and it led to a lot of mental turmoil that I didn't need to go through and I didn't need to put myself through, but alas, that is basically what happened as I allowed myself to be controlled by what other people think of me, so definitely was not enjoyable. So if you related with anything that I just said, this video is just going to be teaching you how to release that and how to not care so much about what other people have to say about you or what they even think about you. So first off though, I want to say that ultimately caring a lot about what other people have to say about you and letting their judgments dictate you shows that you have a lot of insecurity as a person, and I can say this from my own experiences. When I was allowing other people's opinions to dictate my mental state, I was very insecure at that time. I had no sense of self and I was really struggling with my own identity, and I didn't really have any type of inner self-confidence, so I used other people to give myself confidence, and ultimately that is disastrous if you do that. So that's where this all started. It stemmed from insecurity and a lack of self. So that's really what you need to work on, is this insecurity, this lack of self, this lack of confidence, because once you have a sense of self and an inner confidence, you are not going to care what other people think about you because you know wholeheartedly who you are as a person. And when you care a lot about what other people think about you and you allow them to dictate your opinions about yourself, that shows you that you don't actually have any opinions about yourself. You don't even know who you are as a person. You are very insecure and very fragile, you could say. And that's something that I learned when I was going through this whole process, was the only reason that I really even cared about what they thought was because I had no sense of self, and I allowed them to give me a sense of self and a sense of self-worth. So I allowed other people who didn't even know me personally to make me feel like I was something that I wasn't, and I took those ideas and those thoughts and I made that myself because I didn't have any identity. So I took the identity that they gave me based off of their own life experience, based off their own projections of their own reality, and I allowed that to become who I was as a person. People's views of you are literally just a projection of their own reality and their own experiences, and most of the time have very little to do with who you are as a human being, because you could be this amazing human being and people could still view you as this trash person just based off their own life experiences. So once I understood that and I really grasped the concept that people's opinions of me are just opinions they have of themselves and just more so deeper projections they have of their subconscious that they're putting onto me to release that guilt and that burden, it really allowed me to let go. And really, once I let go of these thoughts and ideas that other people put onto me, I allowed myself to find my own identity. I was allowed to find my own sense of self. And once I found that sense of self, I found that identity, doing things that I loved, doing things that I did as a child that I really enjoyed, that I kind of quit doing since I tried to become other people's versions of perfection or whatever people wanted me to be. And once I quit doing that and I went back to my roots, I went back to what made me feel like a human being, what made me feel good and safe and happy. That's when I really built that sense of self-confidence and self-worth, and I wasn't relying on other people's thoughts and ideas to make me feel confident and worthy, since I was giving myself my own worth and my own value. So once I started doing things like I started reading more, I started going back to art, I started painting, drawing more, I started working out again, started caring about my health, doing things that made me feel good, I really gained an inner self-confidence that I never had really before. And if I did, I lost any idea or feeling of what it was like to have that inner self-confidence. And once you start doing things for yourself and doing things because you want to and because you like those things, life becomes so much more easier and so much more enjoyable. And the second that you start doing things for yourself and not for others, not because someone wants you to, not because you think you should so you can appeal to other people's opinions of you, but because you really want to and because it makes you feel good and makes you feel like a whole human being, that's when you're not going to care about what other people think. So that is very, very important to just living a fulfilled, happy, content life, is to not really worry about what other people think, really only about what you think about yourself. Because ultimately, if you think you're doing the best that you can, if you know you're doing the best that you can, if you know you're doing things for yourself, it's not going to matter what other people think of you. Opinions are just opinions. That's it. They're not anything that you need to worry about. If someone says something about you that you don't like, maybe you could look at that aspect of yourself and wonder why I don't like that they're saying that about me. And if it's something that you can change and you want to change it because you want to as a human being, not because they want you to, then you can change it. If you don't want to change that part about yourself because you like that and you think it's good, then don't change it. And it's going to take time, because I know it took a long time for me to do this. I had to stop talking to people that were feeding me negative influences. So anyone that was gossiping a lot, I cut those people off. I also quit acknowledging really toxic boys. I had a stage during my freshman year of high school where I thought relationships were the most important thing. If you weren't in a relationship, you were like this pathetic human being. And so I cut off guys completely, and I didn't really try to be with them in a relationship type way. I only acknowledged them as friends. And the second a guy turned any of our friendships into something sexual, or they wanted something more that I wasn't comfortable with, I basically cut them off immediately. I spent a lot of time alone, so I quit going out every weekend and doing a lot of substances that I shouldn't have. So I quit doing that, and I started really being by myself more and understanding that it's okay to be alone. And I quit doing things that I knew were making me insecure and things that I felt like I had to do, and I was just doing them to appease other people and not because I really wanted to. So I quit doing all of that, and I just started being with myself, and I started trying to teach myself how to be better, doing things that I love and becoming better at it, doing things that ultimately would serve me in the future. And I know that hanging out with people and getting wasted at their house wasn't going to serve me in the future. So I started doing things that I knew would serve me. So I started working out. That's going to serve me in the future. I started reading books. That's going to serve me in the future. I started posting on social media and started making YouTube videos. I know that's going to serve me. So ultimately, I just cut out anything that was negative, anything that was making me insecure, and anything that took away my time that wasn't bettering me as a human being. I just quit doing it, and I quit acknowledging it. Once you start doing that, you eliminate toxicity, you eliminate negativity, and you eliminate these time wasters. You allow yourself to better yourself and to bring in positivity, and you just allow yourself to build that confidence. You allow yourself to get a sense of self, sense you're actually doing things for yourself, building that confidence, and you're not going to rely on other people's opinions as much as you did. So once you're by yourself and once you're trying to learn things, you can either choose to stay in that negative loop, you can either stay in that toxic mindset and everything like that, or you can choose to let go of that, heal from that pain, heal from that, learn from that experience, and then take that learning experience and turn that into something positive and turn that into something that will better you in the future. And that's ultimately what I had to do. And this process took me basically a year, 2 years to really do thoroughly and confidently. Ultimately, those are just the really simple things that I did to help me to find who I was as a person and help me to quit caring so much about what people thought about me and quit allowing people's opinions of me to have such a large impact on who I was as a person. And that's basically it, guys. So hopefully this video allowed you to find a new outlet and help you to just understand why you might care so much about people's opinions and how you can quit caring about their opinions. And ultimately, I just hope this video helped you in any way possible, regardless if it's anything that I just listed, just helped you in any positive way. But with that being said, if you want to help support me, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, and it would help boost this video in the algorithm so others will have the opportunity to see this video and to hopefully bring some positivity into their life. But thank you so much for watching, and have a beautiful day.